Welcome back. It's Linda. Welcome inside my studio. I've got 2 containers full of scrap collage paper from many previous projects, and I'm going to do some 4x4 thumbnails, little collages in my book here. I'm going to try to make each of them different, but keeping in the same limited palette. I'm going to be primarily using green, blue, black, white, and maybe a little bit of neutrals. But those are primarily the colors I'm using. And I'm going to try to build some sort of abstract structure with my paper in each of these 4x4s. I want them to look a little different, but I want them to look like they belong together, if that makes any sense. I want you to know that I used the same elements, meaning the same papers or the same family of papers, same colors, not so much exactly the same paper, in each of these 4 quadrants, squares. I have them penciled off. I did not tape them off. They are penciled off. And I'm just going to start building an abstract composition. I'm just laying papers in right now. I have not glued anything down. I will progress to the gluing down. I'm speeding this up so that you're not watching the laborious task of me picking out the paper. By the way I choose the papers that I'm going to use, it's like what speaks to me today? What was I going for? I wanted something subdued, so I don't want a lot of pattern per se. I didn't want a lot of, loud, bold pattern. I wanted something sedate and subdued, and I'm hoping to get some sort of, after I'm finished with this, when I look at it, can I see something in any of these, one or all of them? Can I see something that I can build a bigger painting with? Much like I did with the limiting is freeing video. I will link that below. That I was able to produce at least 3 or 4 paintings from a few of those thumbnails, and I saw a ton more, and I will revisit those thumbnails. So I'm hoping that by doing this kind of uses up my scraps, because I hate to throw those little pieces of paper away. I mean, look at some of the sizes of these pieces of paper are minuscule, but I hate to throw them away. I like to use them, and this is the perfect way to use them in these little tiny gems of compositions. Yeah, little tiny gems of composition. So I'm just working it out. I am gluing them down. So those 3 are glued down. I still have that 4th box to fill. I haven't even attempted that one yet. I don't know why. The other 3 came together pretty quickly, especially the 2 on the right, the green side. And funnily enough, it ends up the green is on the right side and the blue is on the left side. I don't even know how I did that. That was not intentional. That's what I mean when I'm working on this kind in this kind of a format, when I'm just taking my scraps and challenging myself to use the scraps that I have. I'm not really sitting down with an exact purpose. What I mean is I don't have an exact composition in mind. I'm going to just intuitively pick up the paper, lay it down. Do I like it in that area? Do I not like it? Does it look good next to this piece of paper? Does this piece of paper look better next to that piece of paper? I kind of want it to be impulsive, just about. And then let me see what I've got when I've glued it all down, and then let me unify it somehow. And I'm going to do that with some paint and also some more collage after I get some paint down on this. But it really is funny, the small bits and papers that I collect. I'm sure all of you people out there that collage are in the same boat as I am. I've got drawers full of paper. I've got nine drawers that are filled with full-size papers that are all the colors of the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet. And then I've got neutrals, black and white, and multicolored / patterns. Those are the 9 drawers. But after I've used some of those and I end up with little bits of paper, I put those in those 2 containers you saw in the beginning of the video, and I keep all those itty bitty bits of paper. And I'm talking about, these things are, some of these pieces are so small, but they are mighty. Those little bits of paper are mighty when you are placing them in a thumbnail, because a thumbnail is small in and of itself. So if I'm taking a small bit of paper and putting it on a very large scale drawing or collage, of course it's going to get lost. But if I take that little bit of paper and I put it in a small thumbnail, even smaller than this is 4x4, I could go down to 2x2, 1x1. Then that little itty bit of paper becomes mighty. It could be a focal point. It could be the essence of that thumbnail. So don't get rid of those little itty bitty papers. I cringe when I see people throwing away all those little bits. It makes my heart ache because I really want to rush over and collect them and say, I'll take them. Thank you. Thank you so much. I will take those little bitty papers. I will put some life into them. I will do something with them. All right, so I have some black paper that I am just cutting up into lines, just trying to get something going here. I'm thinking I've got those circles too. I love circles, and maybe some lines to juxtapose against the circles. That's always nice. It's always nice to have contrary things, contrary elements in your work. And I do like circles. I like when circles also go off the page, when they go out of frame. I kind of dig that too. So I'm going to just keep building these. I have all of these shapes. This shape that I'm pasting down right now, that was a piece of black paper that I punched holes out of, circles out of, little, I want to say 3/8 of an inch, maybe even a 1/2 inch circles. And I know somebody else might have thrown that piece of paper away, but when I looked at it, I was like, wow, that is a fantastic piece of paper. I'm going to use that. So it goes into my little box of scraps. And I have these 2 little containers that I take with me when I'm going to somebody's house or to do art or craft. And I always bring this with me because, never know. I go to these crop conventions. I have a friend, Paige. Hi, Paige. That we schedule these crop conventions. She does scrapbooking. I do not. So what I do at these crop conventions is paper art. I'll do this. I will do collage. Strictly collage. I won't bring any paint with me. I will, a modicum amount of paint. Mostly I'm doing paper art. Strictly collage. And they laugh at me. All the people laugh at me that I'm always collecting all the little bits and bobs of, everybody's paper, because the scrapbookers, in general, they will cut something out of a 12x12 sheet of paper, and then whatever they cut out of it, they discard the rest. And I'll walk around and I'll be like, wait a minute, what are you doing there? Like the first time I went with my friend Paige, she was filling up her garbage can. I had this big garbage bag, and I think I may have had, after a 3-day weekend of creating collage, I might have had 5 pieces of paper in there, and most of that was wrappers from the food or the snacks that we were given. She was dumping garbage, every day. And I was like, what are you doing with that? She was like, I'm throwing it away. I was like, yeah, no, don't throw it away. Give it to me. And then all the people around me started to ask me jokingly, Linda, do you want this little bit of paper? And I would say, well, let me see. And they would show it to me, and it might have been half the size of a pinky nail. And I'd say, you know what? Yes, thank you. I will take that little bit of paper, and I would immediately put it into my collage and show them, look, this is where that piece of paper lives, and now I've got a part of you. I'll always remember that you gave that to me. I got this at a crop convention. So, long story short, don't throw away those little itty bitty papers. They come in handy. Look, I'm using little bits of paper here. All right, I am pulling out my favorite papers, which are those on the exam paper. All it is these are black marker, Sharpie marker, or Posca pen markers that I just drew lines and dots, and I just love using this exam paper. It's just wonderful. I know I've said it every single time that I use it, but man, when you spritz it with water, lay down that gel medium, put the wet paper on top of it, sandwich it with another layer of gel medium or Mod Podge or Elmer's, whatever you're using, whatever white glue that dries clear you're using, it disappears. The paper itself melts into your background, and all you're left with is the pattern that you had on the paper. And it is a glorious thing. I love it. It makes me so happy when that happens. Thank you, Jackie Bernardi. She is the artist, the creator on YouTube who I first saw use exam table paper. And wow, wow, wow. I was using tissue paper and regular copy paper and all kinds of paper. But this was a game changer because I could now layer things on my substrate, and then if I layer on top with that exam paper with a pattern, everything that I put down first will still show through. I'm not obliterating it. Okay, I am taking out my golden Titan green pale paint. That's what I'm going to help unify now. So say goodbye to some of the stuff that you say. I know. It does seem counterintuitive, right? You lay all of this stuff down just to paint over it. I know. It seems wasteful, but it really isn't. It really is not. Every layer you put down informs the layer next, or the layer on top of it. So all of those elements that are there still come through somehow, somewhere, and still give something to the finished piece. So don't ever feel like it's a waste. And this Titan green buff, wow, I love this color. I really do. It is like a pale grayish green celery color, and it is yummy. Yeah, just don't eat it. No, wouldn't be good. I keep bringing that flower out. Why? Get it off there. I'm not using it. Linda, take it away. Yep, thank you. I'm not using those organic elements. Get them out of there. I keep trying. No. I like the way I talk to myself now. Ah, yes. Add that. That's perfect. That works for me. And that's going down, for sure. Not in that orientation. Turn it around, Linda. There you go. You did it. See, I listened to myself. All right, so the Titan green buff, I don't even think it was completely dry when I laid down that gel matte medium. Oh my goodness. All right, I am going in with some more paint, drawing in some lines. You know, you could do that too. You don't always have to do collage if you don't want to. You can add all of these elements with paint. You can get out a black pencil, anything. You could get out anything. You can get out a pencil. Here I am using an old hotel key credit card type of thing to pick up some paint and just smear it around. Okay, so I'm getting to the end here. I'm just about done. I don't think I'm going to go any further. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching me do these 4 quick thumbnails. I hope that I revisit these because I can see quite a number of things that I can use these for. All right, so hit the like button, leave me a comment, and I can't wait to see you next time here inside my studio.